Sup, mechanical keyboard nerds? Pete here, ready to kick off another phenomenal mechanical keyboard review with NuPhy's newest keyboard offering, the Kick75. 75% layout. Is it a low profile keyboard? Is it a standard high profile keyboard? Yes, to both. I am going to kick off this video again with a little unboxing. They also sent me one of their newer wrist rests with memory foam. Then we're gonna do a sound test of the keyboard, and then I'm gonna type on it off video for like a week or two, and then come back at the end of this video, 2 weeks from now for me, I'm gonna come back and do a thorough review with pros and cons of the NuPhy Kick75. So let's kick it. So as I unbox this little retro flavored keyboard, I will tell you the details I read about beforehand, which you could go read yourself on their website. But since you're watching my video anyways, I will show it to you and tell you about it at the same time. Pretty incredible. So, I am a fanboy of NuPhy's keyboards. I think they are some of the best pre-built keyboards that are in the budget-ish price range. They're not the $40 or $50 keyboards. They are the $80, $90, maybe up to like $120 max for some of these offerings. Mid-budget, but I think they're just well-built, well-designed. It's clear with every single NuPhy keyboard I have ever touched, and this is like the 6th one that I've reviewed, the design, the thought that they put into how these will sound, how they will feel, and so on and so forth is just better than anybody else in the market, really, in my opinion. So, unboxing. Kick75 installation guide. Again, this is going to be like an 8-bit, 16-bit throwback design and colors and stuff like that. You're going to need this thing. I'm going to need this thing because this is a keyboard. Uh-oh. There's no keyboard in the box. But I think I know why. They sent me another package. I was wondering why I have two packages, and this one's like really heavy. And I think the keyboard is probably in here, and I think they emailed me about this months ago, and I may have forgotten. They're like, hey, we forgot to include your wrist rests. It's good on them for actually, I guess, noticing this before I even opened the package. I mean, they emailed me after they shipped something, and they're like, oh, we forgot something, we'll send it right out. So good for them. Thank you, NuPhy Sport. You guys are on top of your game, for sure. But that said, I actually want to see your keyboard. So we'll open this up. There's a keyboard in this one, as well as an envelope, which is attached to the box right here. As I was saying a second ago, before I decided to be a weirdo and open that other box first, you're gonna need the manual, of course, because you could take this keyboard apart and make it high profile or low profile. We'll see which way it comes by default. It looks like low profile by default. It's pretty cool. The nano switches, which is their low profile switches, and the max switches, which is like a standard cherry switch sort of like profile, both of them can go in this keyboard, but you got to swap some things out, which I believe is what that package is right there. We'll get to that. Let's just finish the unboxing, and then maybe I can make some B-roll footage on this video to show you that other stuff. So we'll take a look at the keyboard last here in just a second. This was in the envelope up here, a quick guide, a Q&A, it's kind of odd, and then an installation guide for that stuff came in the other box, as well as stickers. 8-bit stickers. Okay, very cool. There's a lot of stuff in here. Lots going on right now. So before I get to the keyboard, let's just say that there is a USB cord, USB-C. Looks like a nicer one. I enjoy all of their accessories. These are a few different low-profile keycaps in there. The dongle for a 2.4 gigahertz reception. You could also go wired, and you can also go Bluetooth. Bluetooth 5.0. It's supposed to be very fast, 1K hertz, 1 kilohertz, 1 megahertz. I don't know how that stuff works. Switch puller as well. It's supposed to be very fast. It has all those standard features. You can pair with multiple devices. There's backlighting, and it has a transparent top, which I'll show you in just a second. So that's all well and good. I think those are pretty standard for these days. You can use it for gaming, you can use it for typing, you can use it for work, you can use it for anything. Bluetooth, wireless, pairs with several devices, yada yada. Okay, now, a few things. Let's just take a look at the keyboard first. There you go. Here is a little bit of the, it looks like a little Lego-ish. Lego mixed with Super Mario Bros. Or something is the design. It does have a rotary encoder slash volume knob slash whatever you want to program this to, which, by the way, before I get to it, NuPhy.io, I believe, now I'm going to have to double check myself on the internet, is their browser-based customization software. It's so good. It's so good. I've already talked about this in other videos. I'll show it maybe in the end of this video. But you can go and customize exactly what this rotary encoder does, the knob. You can customize keybinds. You can create macros on the fly, customize the lighting, a ton of stuff. And it's right there in the browser, so you don't have to download anything, which is just chef's kiss. Chef's kick. Get it? No. Okay. So it comes low profile out of the bat. But right away, I will show you why it gets its name is because of the kick that looks like a shoe. This was partially inspired by the Nike shoe, Air Jordan-ish or something like that. One of the early Nike shoes. It looks like the side, especially if you have a different color on the side. Mine is the silver slash clear, but some of them have like a red thing right there, and it's even more apparent. But the profile looks kind of like a Nike shoe. Back has the adjustable feet. Super nice. Everything feels super sturdy, matte finish, and well designed. I can't stress this enough. NuPhy keyboards especially, they just have textures all over. That's cool design back here. The feet are really well put on there and rubbery. There's 4 feet on there. This part is a different texture. It's a different... Apparently it comes out. Oh, it comes out because there's screws right here, which is probably how you take the thing off. Okay, well, there you go. How do I put it back? Just like that. That was easy. There you go. Oh, it's also really good for like an extra piece of the keyboard, keeping it in place or whatever. All right, USB-C there. I figured this was a dongle, but I think it's actually just... Yeah, it's just a storage spot. I think you can put your dongle in there. Just storage. So what do we got here? Windows Mac mode. Pretty nice, so you don't have to customize any of your modifier keys. Via software, you just flip that over and you're in Mac versus Windows mode. This looks like the power button and wired versus wireless. So three settings right there on that button. And that's about it. So I want to do a sound test first in like 15 seconds. And then I actually want to take this bad boy apart, see if I can put in some of these other, what do we got, like PCB in place? Well, let's finish unboxing. We didn't finish, did we? So this is the kit. It's got some foam stuff there. This will probably go, what do we got? There is the top plate. This is a teeny tiny screwdriver for taking the thing apart. I'm guessing there is probably another star-shaped screwdriver in there. And this is, I have no idea. No idea. No idea what this is. Oh, it's gonna go over the knob. Look at that. That's pretty funny. I actually like the little plus sign gaming thing, but apparently you can stick that right over. And yeah, that works pretty well, actually. That's cool. I like these. Uh-oh, I took off the entire thing. Well, don't do that. Lesson learned. Do want to see this wrist rest, only because it is memory foam, which is interesting. You don't see that a whole lot. Most, I feel like you either see like this, the cheap padded wrist rest or solid wood, solid plastic, solid something. And this one is supposed to be a little different. So nothing else in the box besides this guy. Shoop, shoop. And another cool feature, supposedly this comes in 2 sizes. Boop. There you go. I don't know how to work it, but there you go. So here's a base. And here is this part right here, which I figured would come off. Huh. I don't know. There's probably something in the box that has some instructions on there. I thought you could resize this, make it thicker or smaller. Maybe not. Oh, you know what it is? Oh, you just use it with the base or not, because it's got feet on both. That's what it is. So if you're low profile, you can take this part off and just use this part of the wrist rest. Again, it's got the feet on the bottom, so it won't move and it won't make noise or whatever. It feels pretty good right there. And you can snap it back on the base for a higher profile look. Yes, that is far different. Okay, so that's it. That's pretty cool, actually. Way to go, NuPhy, for thinking of this stuff. All right, really quick, I do want to talk about transitioning the keyboard from low profile to high profile and back again, if need be. First of all, I will say it's not that difficult. It's a tiny bit tedious just because you do need to remove the keycaps, remove these switches, take the whole thing apart, unplug a few wires, and then switch the stabilizers in, you don't actually do different stabilizers, you could just move them from the very bottom up to the top plate-ish. And I gotta say, the instructions are terrible. Well, I'm gonna talk about this again in just a minute in my review, but I spent a lot of time looking through, trying to figure out the instruction manual, and it just wasn't worth it. I don't think it's actually all that difficult, as I'll talk about just in a minute. And I actually wanted to keep my Kick75 in low profile, so I didn't actually put any new switches in there, high profile switches, but rather just kind of put it together to see what it would look like, what it would feel like, and then I eventually put it back together just the way it came out of the box. Again, it's not that difficult, but you are going to have to kind of look and memorize which layers go where. All right, you're 75% of the way through this video. Get it? Okay, final wrap up and Pete's thoughts on the Kick75 from NuPhy. Here's the 10-second version. Amazing keyboard, not sure who it's for. There you go. So let me talk about the downside first, and then I want to get to the good side. Downsides. There's not a whole lot of cons with the actual keyboard. It's beautiful, it's built well. If you like the design, it's beautiful. I personally do. I think it's really cool looking. I just do. Every one of their keyboards hits me in a different way. I love the retro video game vibe. Everything's well thought out. There's textures all over. They put a lot of thought and effort into it, and it shows, and it's a beautiful keyboard. Sound and feel exactly like all the other NuPhy keyboards I've tried, which I think is a good thing. I think it's the sort of thing where if this is your very first keyboard and your only keyboard, you're going to be absolutely delighted. I think if you have 30 keyboards and you're looking to try something drastically different, well, we'll get to the swapping low profile, high profile things, but the sound and feel I think is just above average. It's not like phenomenal, but it's way better than every other keyboard in this price range. Well, I guess that's a good thing. That's positive, right? Most other keyboards, pre-built, that I've tried are around this price range, not as good as the NuPhy keyboards. It sounds and feels like all the other ones, which is a good thing. I like the NuPhy keyboards. Pre-built, you can't beat them, in my opinion. You really can't. I love them. So, one more downside. I don't really get the whole switching low profile, high profile thing, because it's kind of a pain. I actually thought it was going to be simpler when I kind of read what this does, and I did want to keep the low profile myself, as you just saw, so I'm kind of leaving it low profile, but I did want to take it apart just to see, like, how easy is this? How quick is this? Who's going to be doing this? Are you going to do it one time, just to, like, see which one you like better? And then what if you like the first way better, and now you got to switch all the way back again? It's not like it takes hours and hours and hours. No, it's not that bad, but it's not something you're going to be doing on a daily basis. I work at my desk, I have this layout, I work at my couch, I have this, low profile. No. You're not going to be doing that because it's way too much of a pain for that. If you're just going to get this and you're going to stay with this keyboard and you want to see whether you want low profile or high profile, that's pretty cool. You buy a keyboard and you can swap. But again, it's a little bit of a pain. The last downsides that I can think of, there are two. They're not really that. These downsides are like cons to me, but they wouldn't like keep me from buying this keyboard or recommending it. But I just wanted to share with you, just to be thorough, I guess. Two things. Number one, the wrist rest. I love that you can customize the height. You can customize the height of the keyboard, height of the wrist rest. It's super well built. The memory foam is okay, but this texture right here, me personally, I'm not a fan of. It feels, this is gonna sound worse than it is. I'm sorry, NuPhy. It feels like those padded toilet seat covers. I'm just being really honest. That's what it reminds me of. No, it's not. I don't think it's going to get super gross. You're not going to be sitting on it, for one thing. But that is what it feels like. It's like that memory foam, and then it's got the, I don't know what material this is right here, but that is kind of what it feels like. To me personally, I prefer a stiff, hard, resin, wood, anything. A surface. like a hard surface. I don't necessarily think I would be using this long term. It's kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie, to be sitting here and be like, I don't know. It just feels a little odd to me. Some people might love it. Some people may not like a wood feeling, and you want something that is actually more comfortable, and that is this. I don't mind the comfort level so much, like of my hand on something really solid and wood, me personally. Again, it's still really well made. It still doesn't slip around on either height. It's really cool. It snaps into place super easy and actually like stays there pretty well. You can get it off, but you're not gonna like get it out on accident. Super well weighed. It's really fun. Me personally, I prefer a harder surface. That's all. But other than that, if you like a padded wrist rest, this is one of the best ones I've ever seen. There you go. Good job, NuPhy. All right, the last con. The instructions aren't very good. Sorry, NuPhy. Pictures are really pretty, and you guys did like good mock-ups of all of these things right here that you need in order to transition from high profile, low profile, etc. The instructions are pretty terrible. Yes, you can figure it out. Don't get me wrong. I think anybody with half a brain can take it apart, see how it's currently laid out, the layers of foam versus the PCB and the plate, and where do the stabilizers go, which you have to take out and put back in, as you saw. And, you know, the top of the case, it's not that difficult, but the instructions are not going to help you any. In fact, they might actually make it more complicated. Just saying. It would be nice if there was a little bit of text documentation, or if NuPhy hired somebody like me, don't hire me because I'm not going to do it, but somebody like me, to make some YouTube videos that are really clear and explicit on some of these keyboards that need it. Not all their keyboards need it, for sure. All the Bluetooth settings and that sort of stuff, that stuff's fine. But switching from low profile to high profile actually involves a tiny bit of work. Again, it's not hard, but their instructions are not going to do you any good. They're just not. They're pretty bad. Okay, other than that, pros. I've just spent a long time talking about the cons, I feel like. But the pros are built super well. Really fun design. Sounds and feels good. Great price point for what it is. Really great accessories. I love this screwdriver right here that you can use with other keyboards if you're a nerd and you have multiple. But it has two, there we go. It has two different bits here. I guess you could call them bits. As well as the swivel base where you can just like hold it with this hand and then, you know, swivel the bottom. I love these guys. Super sturdy. Comes with the keycap pullers. Comes with the extra little thing for the rotary encoder, the volume knob or whatnot. They do really well on their keycaps and extra switches. This one didn't come with extra switches, but they do really well with their accessories. NuPhy does, and I'm super pleased with that. Can I recommend this keyboard at the price point? Absolutely. Are you going to be swapping high profile, low profile, like on a daily basis, depending on where you work, where the keyboard is at? Absolutely not. I think that's really not viable. I'm not sure who the switching profiles is for, really, but it is kind of cool. Again, I wish the instructions were better, but overall, I give this an A. Really do. It's a great keyboard. NuPhy's really great. I love the way these sound and feel. Wireless, Bluetooth, connects with multiple devices. All of the things you want. Super customizable via their browser-based software, NuPhy.io. Amazing. Really, really just well done. So, still approve of the keyboard. Pete approved. That's right. So, without further ado, I will wrap it up. I will kick off the ending of this video. I'm sorry, I have no more dad jokes in me. Thank you guys for watching so much. If you enjoyed this, I don't know, share it, drop me a comment, or give it a thumbs up to help the YouTube algorithms. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Adios.